Hello, Life Church family. Let's do a little Bible study in a scripture today that talks about a storm in the desert. Many of us have looked toward the East Valley and seen a wall of dark clouds rolling in, monsoon storm. We are uniquely suited to appreciate this Psalm of David as he describes a storm coming in off the Mediterranean Sea and rolling through the desert. David reminds us how God reveals himself to us in his creation, even in the storm. As you listen, try to picture what he describes. I will read each verse and then add some interpretation. This is Psalm 29, and I'm reading from the NIV. Verse 1 says, "Ascribe to the Lord, you heavenly beings, ascribe to the Lord glory and strength." In other words, give Yahweh credit. Acknowledge along with the angels how the God of Israel is full of glory and power. Verse 2, "Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness." So we want to realize and confess that his reputation and character deserve our praise. Praise for him, for his holiness, and the call for us to be holy. Verse 3, "The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord thunders over the mighty waters." Recognize his voice as thunder over the ocean, more powerful than the sea. What does he say to us in the storm? Verse 4, "The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic." His voice makes things happen and inspires awe. Verse 5, "The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon." The power of God's voice created the cedar trees, as tall and wide as redwoods or sequoias, and his voice that made them can break them. Verse 6, "He makes Lebanon leap like a calf, Syrian like a young wild ox." See the hills and mountains dance, the innumerable raindrops bouncing off the saturated ground. Verse 7, "The voice of the Lord strikes with flashes of lightning." See bright rivers of electricity equalize the charge between thunderclouds and rain-soaked ground. Verse 8, "The voice of the Lord shakes the desert. The Lord shakes the desert of Kadesh." His power runs from the sea to the west, to the hills and mountains of the east, from the north of the country, all the way to the southern desert. He is no regional God. His power covers the whole earth. Verse 9, "The voice of the Lord twists the oaks and strips the forest bare, and in his temple all cry, 'Glory.' As his power is displayed and twists the mighty trees, may it turn us also toward him in humility. We cry out with all breath, 'He is worthy.'" Verse 10, "The Lord sits enthroned over the flood. The Lord is enthroned as King forever." Yahweh was on his throne for the great flood. He is on his throne now in these storms, and he will be forever. Verse 11, "The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace." May Yahweh give you strength with all his people and bring you peace, wholeness to your heart, mind, and body. The mighty God of storm and ocean, sea and land, he speaks to you in his creation and in his word. He has peace and strength for you today as you realize he is King forever.